Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the best Halloween themed class mods in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager. Now we have a really good problem on our hands. There's a lot of spooky horror themed class mods out there, so this is a very difficult video to make. I'm going to be showing you 4 different builds here, but we'll be reviewing a bunch of honorable mentions because this was actually really challenging. There's so many amazing mods out there. So let me know in the comments if you want to see a future video of more Halloween themed class mods, because we got a lot of them. But just going to dive right into things here. First with the Dread Overlord. This has over 1 million downloads. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this class mod. I absolutely love it. So it's a subclass for the Warlock. You get a bunch of summons alongside it, and it is very much Halloween themed. Next up, we also have the Death Knight class mod here. There's been many different renditions of this over the couple of years that Baldur's Gate 3 has been out on Nexus Mods and Mod.io. This is another one, and the reason I like it for a Halloween-themed class mod is you have the Unholy subclass and the Blood subclass here. So that is really cool, and Frost as it's getting colder outside. So 3 amazing subclasses, and if you play World of Warcraft, you'll be aware of what this is all going to be about. And we also got 3 awesome mods by Halfsglimped, and I'll be honest, they have a lot of really good like horror-themed ones. I'll first start off here with the Eldritch Domain Cleric, which I posted a build for yesterday, so you can check that out if you're interested. They also have the Circle of Blood Druid, which lets you summon it in a Blood Elemental. I think that's my favorite part about this, and I've also covered this in a previous build. And also the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, and this one allows you to use some psionic powers, and sorcerers are pretty strong on their own, so I also cover this in a build. The Accursed class mod. Now this got 343,000 downloads. This one's also quite well known. It's available on console and Mac. It's got 3 different subclasses with the Damned, Corrupted, and Possessed. I think this is a pretty fun one. I've also covered it in the past, so if you want to see a full build for this one, you can check that out. But we also got the Witch class. This one just makes a whole lot of sense because when you think Halloween, one of the first things you think of is the Witch. This is an intelligence-based caster. It has 5 different subclasses here. You got the Frost Witch, Hex Witch, Witch Blade, the Invoker, and the Herbalist. I really like the Hex Witch, and that one I think feels the most like Halloween horror-ish. We also got a lot of Reaper mods. This one is a really well done one here by Wave Rebel. This has it's pretty strong, but I actually think that this one is the most balanced out of all of them. You get this really big scythe here, and it comes with a bunch of different abilities and 2 different subclasses. I guess there's 3. There's the Death's Judgment damage focused subclass, the Death's Aegis tank focused, and the Death's Fate Shaper, which is a support focus, which is a bit more complicated than the rest. I do have a build on this one too if you're curious about it. We also got the Shadow Reaper class. Now this is similar to the other Reaper, but this one just came out last month, and actually not even a month ago. I covered this in the best mods of the week a little while ago. It's got a lot of really cool abilities. It does become pretty overpowered, so if you're a fan of those, or if you use Tactician Enhanced and want something that feels powerful, this is a good one for you. And I couldn't make a video about Halloween without mentioning the Raven Queen. There's actually a lot of good mods regarding her as well, but I have the Raven Queen Patron for Warlock here by GladAwful_P, and this is a subclass, so you do get all this fun abilities that a Warlock has, and then also all these unique spells here. I think I will cover this in the future as well, because I think it's a really fun one. We also got the Eldritch Lore Wizard subclass. I previously talked about this in my best new subclass video that I posted a couple weeks back. This is by the Wailing Bard here, and it's a wizard that gets a bit of kind of Warlock features. You do get the ability to choose from their spell list, and you also get the ability to apply the Otherworldly Torment, which can give the target disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. One thing I really appreciate with the Wailing Bard's mods is they're all quite balanced, and another balanced one from them is the Surgeon Rogue subclass here. So this one, again, the rogue isn't that strong, so this is another class that is fun to play because you have to get really strategic with how you're going to use your abilities. You get some cool surgical strikes, like your sneak attacks now can blind the enemy, which is a pretty fun ability. And this is not a class mod per se, but this one just fits alongside all of these very well because this adds to the Bard, Warlock, Sorcerer, Cleric, Eldritch Knight, and Wizard spell list with the Dawnstar's Necromancy spells. I did a video where I broke this all down, but incredible mod. Literally one of the most beautiful VFX that I've seen in a video game mod before. You can summon in the skeletons and stuff there. So we will be using this in this video. It's not required, but I think it's very thematic, and it's available on console and Mac. So definitely worth checking out. I think the VFX in this are incredible and very Halloween themed. So many spooky, scary skeletons. Another one I want to give an honorable mention to is the Ace 5 Shadow Cats of Ill Omen. This is by Ace243. I'm giving it half a shout out because my own cat Hunter is in this, but also what it does is it replaces the Hound of Ill Omen from the Shadow Magic Sorcerer, which is very much so a Halloween themed subclass that was added in patch 8. So you can choose between the cats. There's been a recent update that lets you pick a more powerful cat And unfortunately, the Shadow Magic Hound did get nerfed on the last hotfix where they reduced its health down, so this can also change that back if you wanted it to. And I guess I'll end off here with Dino Scratch's outfit. You've probably seen this at the very intro of this video. We got to give the goodest boy a Halloween outfit as well. I'd love to see one for an owlbear cub maybe in the future or next Halloween, but yeah, this is just adorable. And for the outfit mod that I'm currently wearing, this is the Kiss of the Scourge mod by Moonblossom, ported over by Azazel Was Taken. This is also available on console. I use it in a lot of videos because I just love the skulls that come alongside this. And what's also cool is you can pair this with different outfits because these skulls actually are like a separate piece that you can attach to other outfits. I tried to keep that last section brief and it was over 5 minutes, but our very first class that we'll be covering today is the Oath of the Dreadbound Paladin. Now, I'm a big fan of the Paladin, and I think this is a very fun horror-themed one. So with this is made by Crypto Hack here and went live this summer. So at level 1, you get a really fun ability as a bonus action, your channel Oath charge, the Shroud of Madness, which instills Crown of Madness on them, so they just attack friend or foe beside them, and it also silences them, so a nice double whammy there. As a bonus action, pretty fun and powerful. And the Dreadbound tenants here, so yeah, you can pause this on here if you want to see, but it's pretty hard to break this oath. Once we hit level 3, we get Mind Spike spell here, which reaches into an enemy's mind, gives disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, which is massive because hold person command. Boom. You also get the Hex spell, which is also quite nice to get, and we also get our Divine Health. The Mind Break Curse, bestow a curse on the enemy, possibly rendering it unable to regain health points and skipping its turn. That's obviously very good in the action economy of Baldur's Gate 3, using your channel Oath charge and a bonus action. And you also have the Chains of Dread, which is 1d8 or 1d10 of psychic damage striking at a creature with a psychic whip to pull it 5 meters close to you, possibly stunning the target. And a stun, if you're not aware, also makes the enemy skip their turn. So yeah, this is pretty strong. Really good oath spells too with Hold Person and Shatter at level 5. Hold Person being very powerful because we can again give them disadvantage on wisdom saves. Our level 7 aura is the Aura of Unraveling Will. So whenever a target receives or starts their turn within 3 meters of you, they must make a wisdom and intelligence saving throw. They make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened, and they lose your charisma modifier off of their wisdom and intelligence saving throws. So if you have a 5 charisma modifier, they get a -5 to their intelligence and wisdom saving throws, so further giving them a disadvantage. Level 9 gives us Counterspell, which is extremely good, and I actually love Counterspell, making us a very defensive forward paladin. And we also got the Harrowed Link, so bind the souls of 2 entities together, and when either takes damage, the other takes half the damage. And this is a concentration level 3 spell slot. This is a really interesting spell because you can do some pretty cool stuff with this, as if you're able to set up like a disadvantage to psychic damage and have someone use Shadow Blade and like Staggering Smite on that target, boom, you can do some crazy damage. And you also get the Abhorrent Smites too as well, so melee attacks deal additional 1d8 of psychic damage here. Yeah, this becomes strong. What's great is that Abhorrent Smite is added, obviously, like the Radiant Smite, so you get that 1d8 on top of all your normal weapon damage. But you also have your Abhorrent Smites here. Should have mentioned that a little sooner. So you can upcast these. It starts with the 2d8, similar to a Divine Smite. The crazy part about this is a 48 of psychic damage is essentially double that. Because if you have the Resonance Stone, it makes the enemies weak to psychic damage, and it becomes absolutely absurd. So this can be really strong or kind of balanced, depending on how you're going to play. They do have some really powerful abilities, but this does require action to give disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. So yeah, there is kind of a cost, but you do have Command and Hold Person, which are 2 of the best wisdom save spells in the game. And also this custom Harrowed Link, this homebrewed spell is really genius here that Crypto Hack put together. I think this is really fun, so definitely worth checking out. This build would actually go really well with the Ring of Shadowblade, so you can get extra psychic damage on your attacks. And next up, with the Cleric being all things light, bright, and radiant, it actually has a lot of subclasses that are kind of horror themed. We most notably got the Death Domain Cleric in patch 8 of Baldur's Gate 3, and we already had the Trickery Domain, the Eldritch Domain from Hasglimt, and now the Fear Domain here by Eclipse. So this is an incredible class mod and a really nice switch up. So you get the Guise of Demise here, you get proficiency and expertise in intimidation and advantage on intimidation checks, and are immune to being frightened or feared. We also get ourselves Dissonant Whispers and the Command spells. This is a great mod to use with the Dawnstar's Necromancy spells. At level 2, we get the Aura of Fear, so create an Aura of Fear with a 6-meter radius around you. Enemies must make a save or become frightened. This becomes fearful at level 5 instead, so this gets a little bit more powerful, using up your channel Divinity, but this doesn't require concentration and lasts for 10 turns, so that's pretty good. At level 3, we get Hold Person and the Crown of Madness spells. And once we hit level 5, we get Counterspell. This is pretty broken because the Cleric is Obviously very good defensively, but getting the best defensive spell in the game is absolutely absurd, but awesome at the same time, because this just opens up new ways to have your team composition go. And Fear, another really great spell that fits thematically. One thing I like doing is adding a single level dip of the Wizard to learn a Globe of Invulnerability on your Cleric, because then they can hold the concentration on Globe of Invulnerability and keep your entire team safe, which obviously feels like the role of a Cleric if you don't want to use Spirit Guardians. Level 6 gives us our Aura of Terra here, so nearby enemies in a 6-meter radius have a penalty to attack rolls and saving throws equal to your Wisdom modifier. They also have disadvantage on Wisdom saving throws, so yeah, this is pretty good. The last subclass also had Wisdom, basically gave similar effects, so these are really good in tandem with each other. Level 7 domain spells, Phantasmal Killer and Banishment. Not often would you want to use those spells, but they're there for you and make sense thematically. The Divine Strike at level 8 is really cool, so this will actually apply Fear on the target whenever you hit them with a melee attack. This is a little bit tricky because my usual go about for applying Divine Strike is putting on hand crossbows and shooting them, so you actually have to do a melee attack. So I guess you could dual wield knives if you wanted to trigger this, while also being able to cast a spell on your turn. Level 9 gives us Hold Monster and Dominate Person, 2 great spells to have. Level 11 gives us Eye Bite, which is fun. Eye Bite, you just continually keep casting and applying it to enemies. That basically becomes your main action at that point. And at level 12, we get the Crushing Despair, level 5 enchantment spell. Nearby enemies in a 12-meter radius must succeed a saving throw or receive Crushing Despair. This basically just incapacitates them for the turn, which is crazy. So yeah, pretty strong ability at the very end here. So you got like your Auras of Fear that you can apply here. They have some pretty cool VFX too. This is from Dawnstar's telekinetic spells. These just, or not telekinetic, but the necromancy spells. They all look fantastic. So I love these. It's just crazy good VFX on this. So, but back to this one here, you get some powerful abilities like the Crushing Despair there. So if that were to succeed, obviously that's pretty powerful. 12-meter radius is huge. So pretty effective choice you got there. We also have Eye Bite, which is obviously pretty nice if you utilize that. Next up, we have the Blood Hunter, which is awesome that it's now in the in-game mod manager. So the Blood Hunter here, made by Lemon Soup. This is a class that was made by Matt Mercer, and if you're not aware of who Matt Mercer is, he's on Critical Role, which is a big D&D TV show, and he's also the voice of Minsk in games. So with the Blood Hunter, it's cool that it's made by someone that's so passionate about D&D, as I find this class is very well balanced. So you get some different blood curse that you can apply on the enemies. You have a variety of different choices, so giving advantage on intimidation checks as a bonus action, bind an enemy, reducing their movement speed to 0, and stop them from using reactions. This one here gives disadvantage on strength and dexterity checks, and will take 1d8 of necrotic damage. The Blood Curse of Exposure, ignore all enemy damage resistances. The Curse of the Eyeless here, which will, when a creature within 9 meters attacks an ally, you can use to choose to disrupt their vision and lower the attack roll by a 1d4. There's also the Curse of the Marked, which makes it take additional 1d4 necrotic damage from your Crimson Right, and you can also amplify this further. And then also the Blood Curse of the Muddled Mind. So the creature that is concentrating, that creature will disadvantage on the saving throws to maintain its concentration, and that's a bonus action, so obviously pretty powerful. And if you amplify this one, you get advantage on attack rolls against the target. The cool thing about this is you have Hemocraft Magic, which allows you to damage yourself and use that to fuel your spells, which is a fun mechanic, so it's high risk, high reward. You also get to pick a Fighting Style at level 2 and a Crimson Right. This is really fun because this allows you to deal additional damage with your weapon here by using your Hemocraft magic. So you hurt yourself, get an additional damage die on your attacks. Lightning and Cold being really good because that can proc a lot of different gloves and different gear in Baldur's Gate 3, so that works well. But once we hit level 3, we get to choose between 4 different subclasses with the Ghostslayer here, the Lycan, which allows you to have like a claw attacking form. The Profane Soul, which is somewhat similar to like a Warlock being rolled up into this, and you get fun things like Booming Blade and Eldritch Blast. And the Mutant, which, if you know anything about The Witcher, is kind of similar to that, which gives you different formulas. I do have a full video breaking down this class. I don't want to break down all of these because there's a lot of different ones here, but everything gives you a disadvantage and an advantage. Like this increases dexterity by 3, disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, which again, very brutal to have that. So very fun subclass. The Ghostslayer here gets the ability to use, get an extra blood maledict here, and your blood curse can target any creature even if they're normally going to be immune to it. Then you also get the Rite of the Dawn, which will do a bonus action, use your damage yourself to get additional radiant damage on your attacks, which is also really good because at level 3 you become radiating orb gear friendly, so that can be pretty fun. Level 5 gives you an extra attack here, and also your Hemocraft die goes up to a 1d6. At level 6 you get the Brand of Castigation here, which smears an arcane brand into a creature you attack with a Crimson Right, and each time the branded creature deals damage to you or a nearby ally, you can retaliate doing your spellcasting modifier in damage. I went the Lycan subclass, so you get a subclass feature here, which increases your speed and your jump distance is doubled. And then you also get the hybrid form here. So this is where you can go in and claw attack the enemy. It's actually kind of funny. And yeah, you also have to do a wisdom saving throw to avoid attacking the nearest creature, so you can make yourself go wild there. It was actually really nice if you have a full team of casters. You can just go in and get free attacks off on the enemy. Once we hit level 11, our Hemocraft die becomes a 1d8. Now, I did cover this in a full video, so you can see the entire breakdown if you watch that video, but the hybrid form here is pretty cool because this allows you to essentially rage and then get some claw attacks while either doing slashing or bludgeoning damage, which is kind of nice. If you're able to set up freeze, you can get some extra damage off like that. But then you also have another predatory strike there, which lets you do a bonus action attack after you do your action one. So it's kind of cool to do some claw attacks there, and they have some cool little VFX. It's a fun subclass overall, and one that I wanted to include here because I think this is very well done. So that is the Blood Hunter by Lemon Soup. Now, I'll be honest, there's so many Warlock subclasses that could have fit into this video, but I went with a newer one that I think is really nice from Ruboki here with the Soul Reaper Warlock subclass here, which is adds a new patron to the game too, which I think is really cool. So you can become a Pact of the Death Warlock, which I'll break down what that means here. So this basically allows you to serve death itself and have a bit of infinite power. You get the Arms Vidar and Inflict Wound spells, unique cantrips here with Death Ray, allowing you to swap places and mark them by death. And then also you can push the target and also mark them with death using a bonus action and your Death Essence charges. And you also add your Charisma modifier to armor class. You also get the cantrip Soul Siphon here, and Agonizing Blast is changed to also add your Charisma modifier to it. And here you can see the Pact of the Death, which allows you to return to life when slain. It's a pretty cool ability, and at level 5 you're going to get a further enhanced one, so that is really cool. And there's the Soul Siphon. It's basically Eldritch Blast, but necrotic damage instead. Once we hit level 5, our Pact of the Death now allows us to do a huge necrotic explosion whenever we get downed, and it will hurt our allies too. The spell list for this subclass is great. You also get access to Counterspell and Spirit Guardians. When we hit level 6, we get our Deathrite Bless, which allows you to heal yourself. And then, or this one allows you to heal yourself, and this one allows you to ignore resistances to necrotic damage there. And then whenever we deal damage that does necrotic damage, we add a Charisma modifier to the damage with the Death's Gift. We also get a unique invocation here with Slowing Blast, which allows our Soul Siphon to hamstrung the target for a turn, which reduces their movement speed. And you also get access to Dethrone, which is normally only accessible to wizards when they learn it from the scroll that you get in Act 3. So that's really cool to see. Now, whenever you get to a level 10, this actually makes your Soul Siphon better than Eldritch Blast because they'll now become an area of effect. So the Death Soul Siphon here is 1d10, but you shoot it and it does an area of effect. Pretty crazy stuff there. So you go boom, shoot it off, and yeah, you can hit multiple enemies at a time with it, so it's pretty good. There are so many Halloween themed mods out there, so again, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see another video of maybe just a general Halloween themed mod, or whatever your thoughts are, please leave those in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button below. Hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you all in the next video.